All right. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Bakersfield Business Partners podcast. My name is Duncan Harris. I'm the owner of Insurance Savings Group and the past president of Bakersfield Business Partners. We're a networking group here in Bakersfield, California. We meet once a week and we help our members' businesses grow through referrals, but also through education and relationships. So that's kind of the byproduct and the other benefits that we get. And so we've got the best group in town. That's because we have the best members. And one of the great members of our group is Tris Technology and IT Medical. So I've got Nathan here with me today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming.
How you doing, Duncan?
Good. Thanks for coming. And introduce yourself really quick and just give us your name, your title, what you do.
Okay, perfect. I'm the CEO of IT Medical Group. Been in the industry for over 25 years.
That makes you old.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit.
I'm teasing. So a little bit of experience.
Middle-aged. Let's go there.
So IT Medical.
Okay.
And been in the business a long time. So before we go into like the business side of it, tell me what you were doing before you were in IT.
Oh, before I was in IT.
Yeah.
I mean,
25 years ago, you were what, in junior high or something like that?
No. I was in my 20s. So.
Okay.
So what's interesting is I actually had another business.
Okay.
So I had a car stereo, home stereo business.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And that's what's funny is that's what led me to this industry.
Yeah.
This is what happened. I purchased a computer for the business and I started using that computer. I was like, oh my gosh, I can tell this computer whatever, I want it to do. And it does it.
Are we talking like 1990s Windows 95 kind of stuff and you're like tricking it out?
So when I started out, I was like 8 years old. My stepfather bought me a little Commodore VIC-20 computer, a little cheap computer, and I would program little games and stuff like that on there. I was a little kid, didn't know any, didn't know that much, didn't have many friends that were into it, but I was just writing these little games, playing these little games and having a great time. And I thought it was just a hobby. I did more of that when I was in high school. And then what happened is I ended up getting that computer for the business. The business actually didn't end up panning out. We were doing really well, but my business partner, he got involved in some bad things.
Stuff happens.
Bummer. We dissolved the business, but I still had that computer, and I was just so fascinated in what I could do with that computer. Mm-hmm. Exactly, it was amazing. So what happened after that was that I ended up working for a sunglass manufacturer.
Okay,
printing out labels, and I started automating this whole label printing. It was pretty amazing. Before then, they were just copying the labels, changing a little bit. It was inefficient, very inefficient. So I ended up creating like an Access database just with all the label information, and you just click of a button and you could print out thousands of labels. It was awesome. and there were some IT guys at that company.
Yeah.
And I would go out to lunch with them and they would say, you know what? You have the brain for this. You should be an IT guy.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, no, that's a hobby. I toy around with the computer as a hobby. You can make money from this.
Plus, these IT guys are weird. They
didn't
have a lot of friends. Yeah,
they're in that office, and you slip the pizza under the door. Smelling nerds. So I'm like, I don't know. And they said, no, seriously, you can make some great money doing this, and you can really, benefit a lot of people. I was like, okay, let's try this. And I went to school, and got my, started getting some Microsoft certifications and up in my game. And it was awesome. I was just so engaged with this industry. This is what I love. This is my passion. I love helping people.
Yeah.
I love really changing people's lives and helping them.
One line of code at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Through technology.
Yeah.
Better living through technology. It really.
I love that.
Yes.
Cool. So, and then are you married? You have a family?
Oh, I'm married. I know. I left it at home. I took,
This is not good. Is your wife going to be watching this? You're in trouble.
I'm probably in trouble. She'll see it and she'll be like, oh my God.
Married. How long have you been married?
So I've been married for about 18 years.
Okay. You have kids?
I have 3 children, 3
Good.
wonderful children.
Cool.
So, yep. 17-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Oh my gosh. So life is pretty busy for you.
It's crazy.
And your 17-year-old is a senior this year? Did they just start?
Yeah, just started. Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome. He's so
Good.
smart.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, he's all advanced classes. He's just smart as can be. He's following in Dad's footsteps, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Smart and charming. Yeah. So very cool. So look, so 25 years ago, you uncover like, hey, I've got this passion, this talent for IT. And then you went to school. Where'd you go to school?
So I went to school at Santa Barbara Business College, which is a technical trade school in Santa Maria, California.
Cool. And they just kind of taught you maybe some of the basics of the business.
They taught me systems administration. That's what I went to school for.
Got it.
Is network systems administration.
And then you've got some Microsoft certifications as well.
I do. I have 13.
13. So
Yeah.
is that like the average number is 13 or?
No, that's a lot.
Do people have any, when
No,
they get...
I went full on, full crazy.
You kind of maxed out on that.
Yeah, I mean, I originally, when I took my first Microsoft cert, I was just so engaged. I was like, this is awesome. It's not just the certification that I was interested in.
Okay.
It was the education. It was any gaps that I had in my knowledge, it would fill that in, which was awesome. I needed that. So I didn't want to be one of these. I wanted to work on servers and infrastructure and all the big fun stuff from the get-go. I didn't.
That sounds like fun.
It is. If at least for me, But I didn't want to just be a workstation tech. A lot of people. There's a need for that. There's a lot of people who love doing that, and that's their thing. But I absolutely was going straight for the gold from the get-go. I didn't want to settle for anything.
Good for you.
But I remember when I got my Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer certification. It took 7 certifications, and it was hard as can be. But when I got it, I just felt like I was on top of the world. It was awesome.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
So, what led you to start or create IT Medical Group?
So we found some deficiencies in a lot of the offerings that were in this area. Actually, not just this area, just in the industry. Mm-hmm. We felt that internet's a big problem. Okay, so internet goes out all the time, as you notice. So we came up with a system where we can have redundant internet feeds. We have 2 internet feeds, and then especially when most everything is going to the cloud.
Right.
So
you have to have
you
the
have to have it. You can't be down.
Yeah.
Down is loss of productivity, loss of money.
Sure.
It's just these employees
the employees are sitting there doing nothing.
Exactly.
You can't schedule the appointments or look at the records. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, especially in the medical field, people, they need their medical visits. Mm-hmm. Some people, this is serious business we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so if the internet's down at a doctor's office for 1 hour, how much revenue
the pile up.
Yeah.
The pile up of patients. Plus, what's a big thing now is cyber attacks. Cyber attacks are huge. It's crazy. And this is medical information. This is our personal medical information we're talking about.
Okay.
So, and I am very serious about that. And that's something that even before I started IT Medical Group, I would not do business with someone that I found out was careless with my medical information.
So if I'm a doctor and I'm listening to this, tell me, what does IT Medical Group, what are they going to do for my business, for my doctor's office?
Okay. We're going to do a holistic approach. So we're going to actually analyze where you are.
Okay.
And your security posture, your security structure.
Okay.
And we're going to reinforce it in every way.
Okay.
So it's like the castles of old, defense in depth. So there's not just one, secret sauce. There's not just one remedy. It's several. You want to put several lines in place so that those hackers, you just make it a miserable place for them to be in, and they go somewhere
They're
else.
going to go on to the next person.
They're going to go on to the next person because it's going to be too hard.
Yeah. So, and you said there's like deficiencies. So, I mean, are some of your competitors, they're not doing what you do, or maybe they do it faster, cheaper? I mean, like, what, maybe a better question is this: like, how do you guys set yourself apart from your competitors?
Our response time.
Okay.
We try to respond within a half an hour, if not faster.
That's tough. That's a pretty high standard.
Yeah, it's a pretty high standard. We try to respond. We try to answer every call. We try to respond within a half an hour because the problems that exist, they're fast. Some of these cyber attacks, they're fast. You got to catch them. And you have to have technology in place that will actually intercept that and stop it even before it's a problem.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So is that kind of your ideal customer? Is it the doctor's office, or maybe it's something else that I don't know?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
The ideal customer. I love that. People say, "Oh, the easy
someone
answer
who's nice,
someone who pays their bills,
someone who's nice with lots of money." Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Exactly. No, the ideal customer actually is trust.
Sure.
Someone who trusts us and we trust them.
Right.
If that level of trust can be established, then they know that we can trust what they tell us to be, that they're open and honest about what they need, and they're not withholding anything from us. And then they can trust us knowing that when we present a solution, that it's exactly what they need, and we're not trying to price gouge them or just sell them something just to sell them something.
Yeah. So really, I mean, someone that recognizes, hey, I've got these security issues, I have these technology needs, and I'm a doctor, I'm a professional, I do not have time to deal with this. Like, no. I need to work with someone that I can trust, that I can handle this, and just know they're going to take care of things for me. But is it just doctors? Is it dental? Is it vision? Is it maybe
it's all of those.
Group clinics, urgent cares?
All of those.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what are kind of the special requirements maybe for the medical field? You already touched on HIPAA.
Oh yeah, HIPAA compliance, PCI compliance.
So HIPAA compliance. Now I do health insurance, I do Medicare.
Exactly.
So we touch this quite often, and it's frustrating for me. It definitely creates a challenge. Maybe you could just explain to the listeners, if you know like everything or something that's included in HIPAA, which is like everything, your name and literally your address, everything has to meet a higher level of security.
Well, absolutely. What's interesting is what HIPAA isn't. Okay. HIPAA isn't a specific piece of equipment that will make you magically HIPAA compliant. It's actually it's more of a framework of behavior, of how you treat the data and that personal information.
Okay.
So, and it's who accesses that personal information. Do they need to access that to do their job?
Yeah.
No one should just be cruising around anyone's medical information just because they want to. That's completely against what HIPAA is all about. And HIPAA is not about certain password standards. People think that, I need to change my password every 90 days and it needs to be a certain complexity. It's like, yes, it is, but they don't define those standards. And a lot of IT people, they're like, oh yeah, HIPAA's this and HIPAA, and you got this HIPAA piece of equipment that will make you HIPAA compliant. All of that is absolutely untrue. HIPAA is a whole, is more of a frame of mind, a way of conducting your business.
Sure. So yeah, I was going to say it's almost a mindset.
Yes.
So maybe along with the software and the hardware that you install, I mean, are you guys helping to like train maybe some of these employees that you have?
Absolutely.
Like, hey, this is kind of the system, and make sure you do this.
Yes,
Tell
absolutely.
me about that.
Because without proper HIPAA, in order to be truly HIPAA compliant, you need your employees to be on board with it.
Okay.
And you need their mindset to be aligned with it.
Okay.
If they're careless with the data, then you've lost right there. You want them to take this seriously. You want them to, serious as a heart attack. I mean, it's a real, protecting people's personal information.
Yeah.
It could be very damaging to certain people to have their information get out.
Yeah. So before I was doing health insurance and Medicare, I dabbled in commercial insurance as well. And the biggest area of growth in that was data protection and data breaches, and what happens if my customer's information gets exposed. And
yeah.
So companies are
all that has to be reported.
Correct. Has to be reported. You have to. Businesses are buying insurance for it. If you get hacked, then I think you're required to give them it's like some kind of identity protection for a certain period of time.
Yes.
It's very detailed.
You're supposed to provide that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cyber insurance is a big thing, and cyber insurance, what is required to get cyber insurance now, you have to have certain software in place, certain practices in place in order to even get that cyber insurance. They're making it a lot tougher.
Yeah.
So people can't be lackadaisical about their security posture, which is awesome in my book because it's absolutely needed in the industry.
Okay. So what else is going on in the industry? I mean, besides HIPAA, are there other changes that are maybe affecting your clients or things that they need to know, like changes or maybe new technology that might make old processes faster, quicker, better?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing everything.
Yeah. I mean, so let's talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, before we started the recording here, we were talking about Chat GPT. And
Yes.
so if I'm a doctor or a medical client of yours, like tell me how AI could affect my business.
Oh, excellent. Well, say with endpoint protection, we have an endpoint protection and response piece.
Yeah.
And what it actually does is it leverages AI to actually mitigate threats even before they break out and they become a problem.
Okay.
It can identify them. What happens is it's actually going through your computer and it's identifying behaviors.
Okay.
And it's looking for certain behaviors. And if certain programs are going to places they shouldn't be, it's like, hey, what are you doing? You know,
It
why are you
notices
going
like
there?
a deviation, like a
Yeah.
variance.
And it shuts it down. So say you download a program that's actually going to infect your computer.
right.
It actually can see what it's happening every step of the way, and it will shut it down before it's a
Interesting.
problem. Ransomware, big one. Like with this
Yeah.
with Rapatoni, MLS, multiple
Yeah.
listing service with real estate.
Yeah.
That's nationwide.
What happened? And maybe I
So-
don't understand. Give me some context there.
Yeah, they haven't been totally clear about it. They said they got a cyber attack that took down their servers. A lot of people it's coming out that's ransomware.
This
which-
is with the MLS for all the real estate agents?
exactly.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's how all these housing listings. That's big deal.
Right.
You know, they were down for days.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's so many people's lives are impacted. The real estate agents can't do their job. The
Can't close a
brokers
transaction.
Can't close.
Right.
Can't change prices on
Right.
houses. You can't even view them. It was madness. So
I mean, so you guys are using software or whatever that's so proactive. It's using artificial intelligence to like sniff this stuff out. Like, hey,
yes.
you downloaded this app and like shouldn't be installing files over here. Like
No.
we're shutting that down.
Yeah, why are you going to this memory space, or why are you going to this part of the hard drive, or why all over the accessing places it shouldn't. It's like the ultimate traffic cop. It's like Tron,
So two things with that. I mean, I'll just say this. I feel like in almost every day we deal with either we get a phishing email or, a client will call us and say, hey, our bank account was hacked and blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. I mean, we deal with this on a daily basis and probably everyone listening does too.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I've had experiences in the past where like you download this program and it's, supposed to work great. But in a lot of ways, maybe it makes your life harder because, oh my gosh, I got to do this extra step. And now that program didn't work today. I mean, like, how do you guys help clients manage that?
Okay, through education. The best defense against that is education.
Okay.
Plus our software, I'm the one, we all manage it behind the scenes and we try to make it as easy as possible for the users. So it's non-invasive. They don't get all these pop-ups all the time because that's annoying. That interrupts.
Super annoying.
Every time you get a pop-up, that's actually taking you away from your work.
Right.
And then you have to, so much time has to pass for you to connect back, into what you were doing. And that's difficult. That's lost productivity. We can't have that. So
Not acceptable for IT Medical Group.
It's not acceptable
No
for
way.
IT Medical Group. Absolutely.
All right. So, you're meeting with clients, you're taking on new clients all the time. What is just some free advice? What are some tips that you could give to maybe a doctor's office? Like, hey, here's some pointers you could do, or maybe, hey, here's some common mistakes that we see people making. Like, what advice could you give?
Well, it's different for each different. There's no one size fits all approach.
Okay.
So the best thing I would say is call us.
Sure.
Call us.
Yeah.
We want to help people. That's ultimately job one.
Yeah.
The money comes second. It's offering a great product. It's helping people. We want to change this industry. We want to help people.
Good for you. So you said internet, HIPAA. You guys are doing phones. You're
Yes.
doing servers. If they need a new computer, you guys will do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What else did I miss?
No,
That's it.
pretty
Employee
much.
training.
I mean, we change out of there.
You said it's a holistic approach. So
Yeah. So we're actually looking for problems in the system and we're replacing.
yeah.
So training, educating. I educate. I have phone calls with clients.
Yeah.
With their staff, and I'm like, okay, you can. This is a. You've been doing it this way. You can modify your behavior this way, and it would be so much better. So I'll give pointers to doctors. I'll be like, oh my God, you were doing this, but we can, if you do this, it'll be more, it'll be more effective. And we're not only trying to do, to change it out that way, we're actually looking for processes that they perform and then giving pointers on how they can improve things they do every day. Okay. So it's not just their security stance, it's their efficiency stance too, as to performing their job more efficiently.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this.
Okay.
But just tell me what's the best part about your job?
Best part about my job is when someone is pleased.
Yeah.
Ultimately, when I help someone out and they're happy about it, when I make someone happy, a smile on someone's face is the world for me.
So I just want to give a quick testimonial. How long has it been since you installed that router at my office? A year? Are we going on a year? 6 months, a year?
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier you said, everyone has internet issues. Oh my gosh, we were having internet issues. It's so frustrating. And it wasn't a long time, but it was like 15 minutes a day, right in the morning, right at 9 something, the internet would go out. So then our phones didn't work. We couldn't send emails. So I called Nathan out. You guys came out. You installed a backup router and internet. And I didn't think about it. And then I saw Josh at a meeting the other day. I'm like, I literally have not thought about my internet. I haven't had one problem since you guys came out.
Which is awesome.
Which is perfect. But, I didn't even realize it because it literally works seamlessly. And then I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, it worked, right? I didn't even have to think about it. It didn't take a second out of my day for what's going on with my internet. So anyhow, thank you.
Now, how much joy did that bring you to not have that pain?
It's a weird thing to quantify.
Yes.
Because it's like, so I'm a pilot, and in pilot training, they say, well, we have all these safety procedures, and they say we don't actually know how many accidents we've prevented.
Exactly.
They just know, hey, we haven't had an accident in a year at this airport.
Well, you have a flight checklist. You check everything out, make sure the plane's safe before you take off.
So over the last 12 months, I can just tell you, well, our internet worked. We haven't had an outage or whatever. It's hard to quantify, but it's valuable. Yeah. I haven't had to worry about it. Yeah. And that's the best thing.
No, there's a lot of, when it comes to flying, I'm a virtual pilot, so I don't know if that counts for
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Absolutely. I'm there. So I love flying around everywhere. That's
where I started, actually. And if you learn to fly on Microsoft Flight Simulator, you'll be a really good instrument pilot. Because when you're flying an airplane, you're really using like sight. You can say, exactly. By looking out the windows, you're higher than you were before. But on the simulator, you don't quite get that. And so you use your instruments, which is cool. But using your instruments, learning to fly by instruments is great because then you can fly at night. You can fly in bad weather. I think it makes you a better pilot. But.
Yeah. It's technology. Technology is helping us do things we've never done before. It's amazing.
So we're kind of coming to a close here. I'm sorry about the pilot track I got off. But anything else you want to say? Anything I didn't cover that you want to touch on?
Not that I could think of. We've covered a lot of ground. Good. That's awesome. I don't want to get too crazy with it.
I know. Yeah, I'm right. We could probably sit here for 12 hours and go into detail. Exactly. Yeah, the best thing is, hey, if someone's got an issue, there's a problem or something's wrong, give Nathan a call, right? He's the expert. He's been doing this for a little while.
Absolutely.
And probably in his head, he'll be able to analyze that problem and then slow it down, explain everything, implement the solution.
Because I want to take people's pain away.
Yeah.
That's ultimately what it's about. There's pain points. Every day you have this certain problem and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just ruining my life.
Such a waste of time.
It's taking you away from happiness.
Right.
So I want to take that away.
Bringing everyone to a happy place.
Yes.
Through technology. Well, thanks for coming, and glad you could join us, and love you guys. Thanks for the work that you did. For those listening, if you want to check out our networking group, we meet Tuesday mornings at 7:30. We're a group of business owners and professionals. And every week we just kind of educate the other members of the group about what we do, how we're different, what's a good referral for us. And then the group can refer us clients, like when they're out meeting with their friends and family or clients. They say, hey, you know what? You've got internet issues. You should call Nathan. So our group is very successful. We usually do about $1 million in referred business every year. And I think there's like 28, 29 members. So check us out. Otherwise, we do a weekly podcast and we'll sign off and we'll get you guys next week. Nathan, have a good one.
You too. Thank you, Duncan.
Take care.